Mr. Willy Wonka is the most amazing, most fantastic, most extraordinary chocolate maker the world has ever seen. I thought everybody knew that.
I remember my mother reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with me, and in fact it was my mother who was first read the story with her sister Olivia as it was being written. It's amazing that it took years and 11 publishers rejecting the book before it finally got published in the UK, from my mother giving it to one of her school friends whose father was a publisher. I think my favourite fact about Charlie is that the Oompa Loompas were originally called whipple-scrumptious, which I think is a lovely little detail.
The chocolate room. An important room, this, cried Mr. Wonka, taking a bunch of keys from his pocket and slipping one into the keyhole of the door.
I guess my favourite character is Wonka. I think he has this purity in his inventiveness and also that kind of mischievous wry tone. I think that he also, for me at least, has clear parallels to Roald in terms of Roald's inventiveness of both stories and language, and also literal inventions like the brain shunt that Roald invented.
There, cried Mr. Wonka, dancing up and down and pointing his gold-topped cane at the great brown river. It's all chocolate. Every drop of the river is hot melted chocolate of the finest quality.
I think there are a couple of reasons why Charlie is still so relevant. I think that it really follows a sort of classic trope of the cautionary tale with the sort of outsized, exaggerated characters and the kind of fairy tale aspect of the golden tickets.
Because in the drawings, in every drawing, he's got his hands like that.
And I also think that the characters themselves were sort of very prescient. They were really ahead of their time in terms of talking about obesity or being too obsessed with technology or the kind of inequality aspect, whilst also at the same time having this inventive language and being incredibly fun.
Oh, what a man he is, this Mr. Willy Wonka, cried Grandpa Joe. Did you know, for example, that he has himself invented more than 200 kinds of chocolate bars, each with a different centre, each far sweeter and creamier than the more delicious than any other chocolate factories can make?
I think one of the things that I would tie between Charlie and Chocolate Factory and our childhoods is the kind of presence of chocolate at Gypsy House. We always had this red chocolate box that went around the table after every meal, filled with all my grandfather's favourite chocolates. And then next to his bed there was a glass wine gum jar so that he could reach down and grab a wine gum in the night if he wanted to think of an idea and suck on a wine gum.
He has some really fantastic inventions up his sleeve, Mr. Willy Wonka has. Did you know he's invented a way of making chocolate ice cream so that it stays cold for hours and hours and hours without being in the refrigerator?
And in the writing hut, he had this amazing Kit Kat wrapper, sort of little cannonball that he'd made from squidging together all of his Kit Kat wrappers. So I think growing up there, couldn't help but sort of feel chocolate kind of oozing all around us. And obviously in the book, you get that in a kind of really vivid way.
Mr. Willy Wonka can make marshmallows that taste of violets and rich caramels that change colour every 10 seconds as you suck them, and little feathery sweets that melt away deliciously the moment you put them between your lips.
I think Roald would be delighted, astounded that the book still has as much resonance as it has 50 years later. I think he was one of the first authors who really spoke directly to children. And there's a lot more authors doing that now, and the fact that his work still seems so fresh amongst that, with all the things that are competing for children's attention, is really a testament to the strength of the story.